flip it. So man, how y'all doing? It's Bully back at it. It's my boy Found Mouse. We said okay. Just wanted to do a little sit down and chat, talk about what's going on. Basically, there's been a lot of talk about them frauditors and stuff like that, and saying like people from Texas that are coming out, they don't know exactly, you know, like people trying to fake this whole thing or whatever. But like my boy Found Mouse said, man, the bracelets are real. When I started doing this and I started watching other channels and stuff like that, that's where my inspiration came from, because I didn't even know you could film police like that. My house has been raided by the police, stuff like that. My rights have been violated multiple times by the police, and I never knew I had a right to film. Matter of fact, when I had cameras on my house and they raided it, they knocked all the cameras down. So I mean, there's a long story when it comes to the police that I've had and all the corruption that's been going on around here. And me picking up the camera just had to do something with me standing up finally and taking back what is our rights and having the right to do this. I mean, what do you think? I'm out with it.
I mean, honestly, man, if you look at society, dude, look at the way that officers are acting, you know, and a lot of people want to say, hey, we go online and we look at, you know, the way officers are acting, but they're in other areas. And that's because they never had any true interaction with the local police. You know what I mean? They can't say that it's happening here, but it's not happening here. It's just not being seen. There's not people like us that are going to go out there, you know, in some of those communities and make sure that that's stuff for the public to see.
And why do you think they be hating on us so bad? Do you think, I mean, do you feel like they're threatened for us every time we come around with the camera? Because to me, it seems like they think because we're videoing them on camera, they think that we're a threat to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm going to be on camera, so now people know I'm a cop. But if you're a cop, shouldn't you be proud of being an officer?
Well, see, that's the thing. If you're a cop, you're obviously there to do a job for the community. Because, I mean, these are so-called heroes of the community, right?
Yes, sir.
And they swore an oath to protect your constitutional rights, right?
Yes, sir.
So why would they walk around with the attitude that, you know, they're levitating above everybody? Too many times, you know, I see officers have this negative type of attitude toward the public. And I get it, man. They do a fucking job that, you know, they deal with a lot of shitheads. But not everybody's that way. So you can't go walking around treating everybody that way.
And what you mean by shitheads, I would say, like, people who actually, like, do crime, you know, go pistol whip somebody, you know, rob a store. Because, I mean, having an attitude or something like that towards a police officer, like, I've been known to have an attitude, you know, that doesn't mean that have an attitude or doesn't mean that I'm violating any rules or crimes, you know. So I mean, I haven't always been the most polite person, but I feel like I feed off of energy, and if a cop comes with me with respect, man, it's hard for me to want to be good to somebody who's treat me nice. Right. But when they try to treat you like a threat, it feels like then you're not really respecting me being here doing what I'm doing. Just like I'm not. They're trying to say I'm not respecting them being police officers and trying to protect the neighborhood. That's not the case at all.
Right, exactly.
I think it's good to protect the neighborhood and all that stuff, but I don't think it's right to harass people and arrest them. If someone's speeding, give them a speeding ticket. Why are you asking them, can I search your vehicle?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my situation.
You know, and going with what you said about that, going about the speeding and when they pull you over. If you're speeding and you're going 55 and a 40, okay, you know you're going 55 and a 40, and I got it. But you're right. That's not a reason for an officer to go continue to fish and look for more things.
Right.
Like, if they want to prevent crime, then go be a detective. You know what I mean? But if you're a traffic cop, then do the traffic laws.
And the thing is, what I'm also trying to say is that, like, cops can't necessarily be everywhere to protect you. You have to take your own protection into your own accountability, right?
Right.
That's the reason why we bear arms. That's the reason why we tell our kids don't talk to strangers and stuff like that. You try to protect yourself. Police can't protect you all the time. And there was a murder recently up the road not too long ago, and they're still looking for the guy, you know what I'm saying? Can't find him or nothing like that, and that's my point exactly. Cops can't be exactly at the same place at the right time all the time.
Right.
But when they saw us with the camera, it's like we stand up above everybody, because most people don't do that, so we were easy to kind of pick at. Because remember, you know, since we've been in trouble for filming or whatever like that, it seems like that our rights have been violated, and we're more suspect now because we stood up to the police or something like that. It's like, oh, these guys are criminals, they're terrorists or some shit like that. But all we were doing was trying to film. Well, at least that's what I was, and I know that's what
But at what point in time does exercising your rights consider you to be uncooperative or a suspect, or, you know what I mean? So just because I choose to exercise my God-given right, it matter of fact, and the Constitution states it itself. It doesn't say that you legally have to help these guys with their investigation. Matter of fact, it says the opposite. It says you have the right to remain silent. So why all of a sudden, if you're getting pulled over and you're getting a ticket for speeding, why all of a sudden is it uncooperative or being an asshole because you don't
Because you're filming.
Well, not even that alone, but tell the, because when the officer asks you, well, where are you headed? Where are you coming from?
Yeah.
How is that any of your business?
Yeah.
Stay within the scope of the stop. If
Yes.
you're going to give me a ticket and let me go. But there's no reason for all the other.
Right.
And I think that's where they get the miscommunication between the community and the law enforcement, because they do it to themselves. Honestly.
Yes, sir. Yep. And as far as these frauditors, I mean, how do you feel about them saying stuff like that with all these other guys like Justin Pommier and all them saying that some about frauditors, all these new Texas frauditors? I mean, what makes a frauditor? What is a frauditor?
So apparently, from what I was explained to, a frauditor is a guy that just does stuff for clicks and for money, and then they don't do any follow-up paperwork to try to make change.
Okay.
That's what was explained to me as a frauditor.
And my point is this: if nobody wanted to make clicks and money, you wouldn't publish any of these videos. Is what I think.
Well, I mean, you got to think. Some people were doing it for. I mean, I think all like us, our intentions are to try and make change, and try to shed light on what's happening in our community.
Right.
Okay. Is every community great? There's probably some communities that's really great, but there are communities, like for instance, we were in Killeen and we were doing work over there. Remember?
They were actually nice officers over
Yeah,
there. They
we
were
were
really
getting
nice.
handshakes.
Yeah, I think it's Officer Wu. We went to the post office, the police had called, shook our hand and told me thank you for being an educated civilian. I was like, all right, well there you go. That's a good. I like
And
it,
Harper
though.
Heights the same way.
Yeah.
And you guys that are watching stream, man, you guys can go back and look at both of our videos. You know, look at and me and Bully, we do work together, but we separate to get different angles of the story, and then we obviously communicate with different people too. But the sole purpose is always there to educate. It's always there to educate. It's never to instigate. It's never to cause problems. And with that being said, we can't control how other people feel. I can't control how you feel or your emotional state as a grown adult because you have a camera that shows up to the scene or on the spot. You know, if you don't want to be on camera, why would you approach the camera?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people think that even though there's cameras everywhere that are being recorded, they put this stuff on Facebook. I think it's just because there's someone with the camera.
Right.
That's why people be like, well, maybe put some drywall on it, and they just think it, it looks like a camera regularly on the wall or something like that. But I don't understand why that when we were at post offices, why the managers didn't come out and point out that the Poster 7 exists. Sometimes I forget when I get in there and people start yelling at me and trying to say, why are you filming? I get a little nervous or whatever.
Right.
And I forget sometimes that Poster 7 is right there on the wall and I forget to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they don't even want to look at that. They don't want to pay attention to it. They don't want to look at it and they just want to call the police. And, and the police sometimes don't even show up and tell people, look, you have a right to film.
Right.
I've seen other guys do YouTube videos, like Clay Marshall for one, and he went out there with the police and with the same officer that got me at the post office, put his hands on me. He went over there and was filming, and he was okay with it. And he explained to the business owner that, look, he has a right to film. He was trying to say he's just trying to agitate you or something like that.
Right.
But I mean, it's like, it seems like that there is change happening. Now, did I go and fill paperwork out? Did I go and write complaints? Sure.
Yeah, we did.
Nothing came out of that, but one thing that I did notice, that when Clay Marshall made that video with the same cop that grabbed me out of the post office physically, he did not mess with him for filming.
No,
so
I agree.
That's changed to me. For them realizing that they're now being watched, that we are now looking, that we are now paying attention, that we're saying, hey, look, I understand you got to obey certain laws. I understand that you can't be a criminal, run around hurting people and robbing people. I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Catch them. But when you're just driving down the road or whatever, getting pulled over and they're searching through everything, trying to make a charge out of something just for no reason, I don't like that. When you walk down the road, which I've had before at night, and the cops will come up on you and spotlight you, because I like walking at night or whatever with my dogs, been spotlighted before. It's like, bro, I've lived in this neighborhood longer than you've worked in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
I
like-
agree. And that's the problem, though. There's a lot of these officers that they don't, and I don't know how they're training these guys in the academy over here in Belton, Texas, or in Temple, Texas. I don't know what type of training these guys have on the Constitution, or if they have any according to the First Amendment and Second Amendment right. Now, I can tell you Temple PD is very honed in on the Second Amendment rights, and probably the First Amendment rights as well, and they don't really mess with you. And I didn't expect anything for Belton to do anything. I thought, we lived in a community. At one point in time, you remember I was a part of the community and was doing things with them and helping them. And, none of that matters, though. When you pick up a camera and you start recording police, you become the enemy. And I don't understand it. We got God-given rights.
Yep.
So why wouldn't we exercise these rights? Because we decide to spread the message in a way that not everybody agrees with. That doesn't make us these bad people.
Exactly.
And that's what pisses me off.
Yep.
Let's run through these comments.
All right, go
Let's see
ahead.
what we got.
Shout
here.
out to them.
What we got? Authority check. What's up, Authority check?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good to see you, brother. Sound minds. Foulmouth, that's me. Spitting Cobra Cop Watch, how's it going? Let's see, Foulmouth, let's see. When other people change the policy to fit the law, we all win. Change the policy and you change the world of illusions.
Yes, sir. That's what it is, an illusion of protection. Yes, sir. I agree with that big time. It's a magic trick. You have to protect yourself, and you got to put yourself in the right places, man. If you out there at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night, and you wonder why you get kids you out there on the street messing around, you're gonna get what you're gonna find out there, man. You know, when you just go to work, come home, and live your life, and like me, that's what I do. I go to work, I come and I do a little filming, do a little running. Shit, life been good to me. I can't complain too bad. You know,
Right.
sometimes I police mess with me. Otherwise than that, pretty good.
But I just want everybody to know, I want the viewers to know, man, our intent is never to go out there and harass and agitate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're rough around the edges, that's fine, but then it's not illegal to be rough around the edges.
And it's a new thing for me, man. You know what I'm saying? So there's a process of learning all this stuff. So I believe the longer that I do this, the better I'll get at it.
No, I understand. Spitting Croba says, I get you there, brother. I try not to instigate anything, but I will not stand there and take the bullshit either. And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. See, this is the thing when it comes with that, Spitting Croba. Rights trump authority every time. Until you break the law, your rights trump that officer or law enforcement's authority every time. Now, when you break the law, that's at that point in time, that's when his authority takes over because he's broken the law and he has to enforce that. Okay, but for the negative comments and the way that the officers have labeled us here in Belton, Texas, is pretty shitty. I've been attacked at the HEB. I've had my house attacked. You know, Bully gets harassed constantly on a daily basis. You know, it's ridiculous.
They drive up and down my street, but I mean, they really never had any confrontation with me. They drive up and down my street a lot. Most people around him actually shook my hand and said, thank you for doing what you're doing, because they from this area and they know how the police harass them and stuff like that when they just trying to walk to the corner store, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And getting harassed and pulled over and stuff, getting checked and ID, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we're not trying, and let's see here, Sound Mind says they are your servants. Change their policies. They are there to do a job, definitely to protect the people. And I know a lot of people asked me on my on some of the videos, and you can probably read them, Bully, where they were like, well, why don't you guys go record people breaking into houses and doing all that stuff? Okay, why am I going to go do the law enforcement's job for them?
Well, that's hard to find too, man. How you gonna find somebody breaking in? I mean, you can't. You have to be around people who do that. Nobody goes around and say, hey, I'm gonna go. You know.
So then you would be complicit in that
yeah,
behavior.
you'd be complicit.
So
yeah, who does that?
it's
You know
just,
what I'm saying?
you know. But I'm not.
And then
gonna go
another
out and
thing,
do-
a servant's, if you ask a cop, if you tell a cop, yo, you work for me, a cop will laugh at you.
Yeah, he'll laugh at you.
He tell you, I don't work for you, and you don't pay my bill. He'll tell you that kind of stuff, man.
No. Go tell anybody that's here in the Belton and Temple community. Go tell a law enforcement officer that he works for you.
Or just any officer.
Or any officer.
They're not going to agree to that.
Yeah,
They don't,
hell no.
They don't think that.
No, because they're not trained that way.
And I don't think a lot of officers live in the community that they police neither.
No,
They
you're,
don't.
yeah, you're right.
You know, I don't think they stick around here and go to the restaurant. You know, they don't have family. I don't know that, but I don't know any officers personally. I think they're all out of town. They don't even live around here.
You're right about that. I think a big percentage of the law enforcement that work in the communities that they work in, they don't even live there.
Yeah.
So that's why they treat the people in that community the way they do.
That might be
And
it.
you know what? It's funny that you say that, because what if they live in this high-end community and then they're patrolling this low-end community?
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to treat their neighbor the same way they treat that person.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So, let's see here. Jesus Hernandez, Belton has the good old boy mentality and very basic values. I think right now, man, when it comes to the racism, dude, I think like that shit like right now, especially, and that's across the government as a whole, man. I think that's really been the point of a lot of the stuff you see on the news. They've been pushing that agenda forever. So, like they say, divide and conquer, right?
Right.
So, authority check. We can get on some authority check. Want to read that?
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So, authority check. What would y'all say to Justin Pullian saying you're a loser if you got arrested, and that getting arrested is not creating change?
Well, actually, I think getting arrested, man, what it does is show the fact that there is your rights being violated. When they pull up stupid things like, oh, you're impeding, when you never did anything to the officer, when you never got in the way, because you got to look at what the statute is on that, and it ain't just talking. Just because you talk is not against the law. So my point is, you're not losing because you get arrested. That's part of the game. Like, it's like if you're a cop, yeah, people are gonna take shots at you. You're gonna see violence. That's part of being an officer. Well, when you're an auditor, that's part of it, man. Cops are gonna try to violate your rights, and if you don't have the verbal judo, and I'm not one of the most educated persons when it comes to knowing the law, But it doesn't matter. Like I say, I may not be a smart man, but I know what rights are. You know what I'm saying? We got freedom still. So it's like, because I'm not smart on the law don't mean I still don't have the right to film. It's something simple. It's not like I'm trying to build a business. I understand if you have a business, you got to get permits and stuff. I'm just simply out here filming and showing what I'm seeing. You know, I mean, so I don't feel that. And talking shit about people off of camera and all that. And like when people do that little trolling stuff, look, you can find where I live, man. So it ain't hard to find me. Because I don't, you know, I'm just saying, I don't, you know, talking shit on the fucking thing ain't nothing. But pick up a camera and actually put yourself in that way of, you know, actually be that truth to stand up for other people that are being pulled over. That's putting yourself in the line of fire right there, because it can come at you. And I've seen officers let people go just because we're sitting there filming when they were trying to take their cars. Remember in Killeen?
Yep.
They were going to take this dude's car because he had no interest in all that. But instead they decided to do the right thing and allow him to leave his car there and have somebody come pick him up.
Yep.
I mean, that's fair. You know, if I see you out on the street again in that car, that's jail time. I mean, I get that. But you got to give people a break sometimes, especially, you know, it just happens.
Especially for minor shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I got it. You know how many times growing up, man, and I drove without a license and insurance just to get to work every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you just got to make things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make you a bad person?
Exactly.
Does that make you a bad person?
Man, and got home safe and
Exactly.
everything. You know what I'm saying? They didn't violate nobody, didn't have no wrecks or nothing. I feel you. But what do you think about that?
The thing is with the Justin Pulliam thing, let me tell you something. First of all, let me say something. Not everybody has daddy money. Everybody's got daddy money and mommy money to where they can just go buy whatever the hell they want and do whatever the hell they want. And anybody thinks that us as grown-ass men need anybody's permission or anybody's blessing to go and do what we do, well, you got me fucked up. I'm not kissing nobody's ring. And I don't bow to no man. We operate in a way that we operate, and that's because we choose to operate that way, but we operate because we want true change in our community, because we see what's directly involved in our community. All right? Now, when we start to make change here, will we eventually go somewhere else? Well, if time tells, and if that's what we decide to do, then that's what's going to happen. But I'm not going to vow and kiss anybody's ring and go get a blessing from somebody that I don't even know. They don't even know me. How many tours has Justin Pulliam done? Ask him that. How many tours have you done, Justin Pulliam?
Ooh, yeah.
What have you done for your country? I ain't kissing no ring.
Yeah, and I was saying, man, you know, I was saying on one of my videos, when you go out and film a lot, or you know, when you go to a family vacation, you take pictures and stuff like that, you never think in your head that that's a right or a freedom. You just kind of do that. You don't think about like, oh, people had to fight just for you to be able to take a picture and be able to say what you want or wear a T-shirt that you want. You know what I'm saying? To be able to express yourself the way you feel. And it seems like they're trying to take our expressions away, man. That sounds like China stuff.
It is.
Because that's what, to me, in China, they don't want you to be able to have any expression. And you all see, like, when you go to North Korea, they only let you film certain places that they set up and stuff like that. I mean, come on, they don't want you to see the truth of that place.
Because everybody's so emotionally driven nowadays. Everybody's so emotionally driven. It's to the point to where if you wear something offensive on a T-shirt, which, I mean, that's freedom of speech. Even if you wear something offensive on a T-shirt, you get scolded and you get looked at like you're dirty, or you get told that, oh, you're a complete fucking idiot. Yeah. Everybody's so emotionally driven because we decide to show up with a camera. Like I stated before, we can't control how you feel. You know, we can't control your emotions. You're a grown-ass person. If you can't control your emotions, then you need to, you know, get out of the camera, go somewhere else. But all that other stuff, people calling us frauditors and calling us like we're not trying to make true change and we're fake. And like I stated in the other video, them bracelets are real. That jail is real. Them inmates that me and Bully were in there, were sleeping on that hard ass concrete. That was real. Ain't nothing fake about that. Mark Wooldridge, Utah in the house. Salute, bro. What's up, Utah? Respect from Texas. Respect Mo rights. They're not there to protect the people. They're there to protect the commerce and the business. And you know what? I think there's some truth to that. Because I think here in Belton, I think a lot of the business owners' taxes directly affect the and I may be wrong, the police department. A lot of the businesses, a lot of here, they support a lot of law enforcement, but they don't see a lot of the negative stuff that's being done.
I know they got a $4.5 million budget.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, they do got a pretty big budget for this little town. Let's see here. Let's see. Tango Tracker. I've seen Tango Tracker a lot on your streams. Weeks ago, did you make out in court? Well, so they want to know what happened
on court, they canceled that, and it's going to be on August 25th at 1:15, where I go in there again and see what happens with that. So I'm just stuck in the dark waiting to see what happens with everything right now. It's going to be a process that I'll show you. It's a slow process. A lot of people are like, man, you can get speedy trials, speedy this. With COVID going on and everything like that, it's not working like that. So there is no speedy trial. It's taking its time, and it's going to be a slow process. But I'll keep y'all updated and let y'all know what's going on.
Respectable Right says, if you tell a cop you pay their salaries, I'll ask you if you own a business because they are there to protect commerce.
Well, you know what? I go to those businesses. I go out and eat at those restaurants. I go out and buy clothes at those places. That means I'm paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I am a taxpayer.
When you buy a soda, you pay taxes.
Every year, man. Every year when I turn in my tax papers, they charge you money too. I mean, I get money back too. But I mean, that's not the point.
Well, you pay property taxes too.
Well, that too. Property taxes. You pay taxes anything you buy. So I do pay taxes. I just don't pay maybe $10,000 a month taxes because I don't own $1 million business. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me state this though. I'm not gonna, necessarily, just me personally, I'm not gonna go up to a cop and tell him, man, I pay your salary. That's, first of all, that's.
Depends if it got out of line with, but like I said, that stuff don't even work sometimes. So sometimes it's just, it seems like it's a pointless thing, but I honestly believe as we slowly work on it, and maybe we'll break down that boundary between the police. My goal is to eventually have the police understand and know that I'm just there recording, and that I'm trying to be a part of the community the best way that I can be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no doctor, I ain't no lawyer, I'm not working at the churches or nothing like that, but I'm trying to do something that's good for the community in some sort of way. It may not be something that everybody agrees on, but it's something that I like to do. I feel like that I'm giving a little bit of something for everybody. That's how I feel.
Giving a voice to the people that don't have a voice.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah. I'm not nothing more than that. I feel like I'm doing something a little bit. Maybe a lot, but I feel like that.
And you know what? I can agree to that too. Because you know what? I think a lot of people in the community that you know, a lot of people don't have voices, man. And a lot of people don't understand.
And don't want to stand up.
Exactly.
It's scary to do that.
It is scary.
I shake sometimes. I get scared, yeah.
If you guys don't think that when me and Willie get on the ground, this shit isn't nerve-wracking,
oh, man.
I mean, it is. I mean, you're literally playing with your freedom, man. You could be playing with your life. Not saying that you know, turn around and get shot, but how many times?
Well, there was an auditor that got shot. There was an auditor that got shot.
Yeah, the kid.
I forgot it. Yeah.
Yeah, the young kid. He got murdered.
Yeah.
And then didn't they break into his YouTube account and like only leave up 3 videos?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it, but I do remember hearing that. That's terrible.
Yeah. Tango Tracker said something about how, so I'm not sure what that comment was on how. Joe Cool, what's up, Joe Cool?
Oh man, what's up, Joe Cool?
Joe Cool, boy, back. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro. Good to see you on the channel, man. Thank you.
Howard Clegg, what's going on, Howard? Howard's always on he's always on our stream, man. He's good people. Just joining in, good to see you both. Good to see you. All can, he talks fast. Am I on normal speed? We don't talk fast, you just listen slow. Joe Cool. What's up? He be spitting. That's right, man. We don't talk fast. Y'all listen slow. Jesus Hernandez. Policing is a business, and businesses need revenue to be sustainable. I understand that it's a business, and I understand that you gotta kind of create
a business of locking people up.
That's the thing too.
Locking people up. I don't think that's a good business to have.
And see, and going back to what his comment, if it is a business, then if the incentive is money, then you have no incentive to do the right thing and protect people's rights.
What they need to do is they need to start rehabilitating people that they throw in jail, because a lot of those people that are in jail, they're in for drug charges. A lot of them have meth and problems and stuff like that. They have a drug issue with it. They're trying to make money by selling it. They need help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as a person who knows and struggles through a lot of things, I'll tell you that it's not easy to get to. But if I didn't have good people on my side to help me out, like my family and even my boss, to help me through bad times and gave me a job and made me feel like I'm worth something. You know what I'm saying? So getting a job, you just gotta have the people build you up to make you feel strong. And I think a lot of times too many people get kicked in the face when they down and nobody's bringing nobody up anymore. Just like when I don't like people talking shit about auditors or whatever, because it's like, why are you trying to tear down a person all the time? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to build somebody up. You want to teach them, teach them, but don't break them down.
Right.
You know?
There's a right way about doing things, there's a wrong way about doing things.
Yes, sir.
And I know we do things a little differently than most people do, and we're a little bit more aggressive. And there's nothing.
I'm just passionate. I think I'm passionate. I'm passionate.
There you go.
I'm passionate.
And you're right about that. And that's a good word.
I'm about to do. Yeah.
Passionate is a good word. It's a good word to use.
Well, that's how I feel about it. I care about it. It's happened to me. When your house starts getting raided and they tear up your stuff, when they throw all your stuff around and then they follow you around every time you turn the corner, yeah, man, it bothers you. So until that happens to you, then you'll finally understand, these places, man, some of them are just, I'm not saying all of them, but I'll say most of them just ain't no good. They're chasing after the wrong people.
Alka says, true that. Joe Cool says, overseer, not officer. Joe Cool, who's the other cat? Oh, I'm Falmouth veteran, Joe Cool. I watch your stuff too, bro. I watched you on the live stream whenever y'all were talking to, I think it was Long Island Audits, about that letter he wrote, that trophy he gave him. Solid, Howard. Yeah, Howard cool, man. Joe cool, you cool too, man. I watch your videos, bro. You're pretty solid. Sound Minds. You're at war. If you're worried someone with no authority, you better know how to defend yourself in black and white without a bar member. I'm assuming a lawyer.
Yeah.
That was your job to protect the Constitution. It will not protect you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's truth to that, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, you really have to be on your game, and I learned that, man. And somebody a long time wrote me on my message like, "You ain't made for this." You know what I'm saying? But that's a learning process, because anywhere that I've ever worked, when I started working, I just started off as a laborer, and then I worked my way up through knowledge. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work through this knowledge and trying to figure out. And when you just look, truth will always shine brighter than darkness. You know what I'm saying? When you just write about something, when you're just speaking the truth, that will always shine brighter than your feelings and how you trying to violate my rights and how you get all upset. I feel like anybody's ever came to me with the camera, you harassing me, because I never called you out by your name. I don't know you, never met you. So I'm just there. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be there with the camera. I don't know.
Here's a question. Here's a question I've been asking for, and I want to answer this together. How would it feel if we were in a public place with our families and somebody came out recording us?
I wouldn't care about
How
no
would you
camera.
feel?
Chunk of dudes, what's up, baby?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you. I mean, I
Honestly,
put my cell phone camera, my name, my number. I had to change my number because they put me on blast on that. But I mean, it's not that I don't have nothing to hide. I'm just out here doing, I thought, you know what I'm saying, trying to do the right thing for the Constitution. And I still believe that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still standing for that. You know?
Do you think, okay, so everybody talks about a certain level of privacy, right?
That's why you have a fence. You build a fence around your house. You put up blinds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't go to a restaurant. Like I've seen certain people go to restaurants to try to, I wouldn't do that because that's not my thing. But if you did it to me, so what? You know what I'm saying? I'm not upset about it. I don't care. I already know about that. I didn't know you had a right to film like that. I learned that through auditing. So all those people who want to be fraudsters, but they taught me something. You know, SGV and all those guys up there who are doing things that maybe people don't agree with because they're doing something. They taught me with that, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I looked all this Section 242, Title 18 through listening to people who are auditing all different kinds of the community. Joe Cool. I mean, there's so many names and all the big hitters I was listening to and found out about this. And I was like, wow, you can stand up for your rights, and this is a way to do it. Because I've always wanted to figure out a way to be part of the public. How can I be out there doing something? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is one little thing that I can do because it's just I feel like it's in me to do that.
And if you guys don't think that me and Bully, Bully has a full-time job.
Yes, sir.
A full-time job. And this dude don't exactly just go and sit at the front of a cash register either. He works his ass off.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So we stay busy. So the people saying that these jobless, pieces of garbage that they have this vendetta against law enforcement. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. But when there is law enforcement that are operating in a manner that's derogatory or negative toward the public, and it's unnecessary to be that way, then it needs to be shined. It needs to be shined on. People need to see that. People need to see that. And I think what it is why officers, and this is just my total opinion, I think the reason why officers don't want to be reported is because if they are caught doing something and it is posted online, then Miss whoever, next door, it might be his neighbor, might actually see his true colors.
That's true.
So then the face
maybe because he act like he out there catching cop robbers and shit, and he out there really just harassing the public. Like that one day with the blue-eyed lady, it was an old lady sitting in there. They were trying to travel from wherever they was traveling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they were moving.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Let's see what we got here. Sam Moore, Joe Cool, love these casts. First time here. I think I get high a lot. That's funny. Well, Texas, man, we look different out in Texas.
Yeah.
So Howard Clegg, Joe Cool, the other dude is 5 Mile Veteran. Thanks, Howard Clegg. Howard's pretty cool, man. He's always on our streams. Sound Minds, baby, good to see you. Joe Cool, Sound Minds. Tango Tractor, best of luck, BBA.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
That's cool, Tango. And you know what, Tango, I got to give you some respect, man, because I know I've seen a lot of the streams that you was on Bulls before. You kind of gave them a hard time, dude, but you came around, man. You know what? I can respect somebody like that. I can respect somebody more that has an open mind and can truly see both sides of the coin. Because it's not always one side of the coin. There's two sides of the coin always. And the fact that you're willing to take a step back, reevaluate things, and truly understand what we're doing and what we really, the message that we're trying to spin, I can give you more respect for that.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about that?
I think that's true. And even with me, like I always say, I'm still trying to learn and still trying to get smarter with the knowledge, and I'm still always trying to be better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My goal is, like I said, to be nice and friendly with officers, as long as they're nice and friendly with me.
Right.
And then that's the respect. All I want is respect.
It's
from the
mutual.
police. Exactly.
It's mutual.
Exactly.
He's a grown man, we're grown
Yes,
men,
sir. Yes,
you
sir.
see what- and that should be mutual as men.
Yes, sir.
And the thing is too, and I see this too many times, when law enforcement put on that uniform, your personal feelings and all that go out the door. It's about that uniform, period. And everything you say is not law. So you officers that are running around in Belton, Texas, Temple, Texas, that believe that you're the law,
Like some Clint
go find another profession, man.
Yeah.
Because you are not the law. You uphold the law, and you uphold people's constitutional
Yes,
rights.
sir. Hell yeah.
You're supposed to protect them. So going around harassing somebody or trying to fish for things that are unnecessary is not building positive rapport with the community that you're trying to build.
Yeah.
It definitely, and a lot of them.
That's why it gets bully back audits, man, because you had to bully back against bullies because they treat us like bullies. You know, they
Exactly.
knock us around, push us around, throw us down on the ground, drag us around, and then what, we ain't supposed to stand up and say nothing?
Right.
How many times can I get punched in the face before I got to swing back? You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know?
And that's only your right to fight back. New York Tyrant Hunter. Hey, what's up? What's up, man?
Hey,
Authority check. What's
Sarah,
up,
how you
Joe?
doing, brother?
Let's see. There's the Tech Routine, New York City. Love your content. Howard Cliff says, respect Mo rights. You should check out a podcast called Behind the Bastards. And they did another show called Behind the Police that tells the history of how police came about. It was educational.
Cool, man. Have to
That's
check
cool.
that
We'll
out.
have to check that out.
Oh, yeah.
Only shit a few of my favorites. M-Star Media, what's up?
Hey,
M-Star,
how you
cool,
doing? How you
man.
doing,
She
girl?
cool. Yeah. I watched her live stream, I think it was the day before yesterday.
Yeah, she busy.
Yeah.
She
She's
busy.
busy. What up, people? Thanks for the tool. Joe Cool. Let's see. Sounds of mine. Sustainable means you can afford loss. It's inevitable. Look at history as a plan for less people to deal with.
A lot of people gotta lose and sacrifice for some change to be. I mean, that's how I look at it. Just me going out and filming, just one person filming ain't gonna help. Just one guy to sign a film ain't gonna help. You gotta have a whole team of people out there that are standing up for something. And as a small little ripple will create a wave type of deal. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be one person that changes this. And some people are gonna choose different battles to fight. And some people are gonna win, and some people are gonna lose those battles. But I mean, at the end of the day, it does put a light on what's going on in the community.
Well, let's talk about one of the most biggest movements and changes in our American history.
What's up?
The Revolutionary War.
Oh yeah.
At some point in time, our forefathers were considered terrorists.
That's exactly right.
Because against the king and
exactly
queen.
right.
But what if they would have stopped?
Yeah.
What if they would have gave up?
Yep.
What if they never would have
Yep.
taken the chance of death
True.
to build this nation?
True.
Where would we be?
Yeah, and I know people who've been in England. Let me tell you, you can't protest like you protest here in the United States. You have to set in a sign. You can't make no noise and shit. Now forget all that, man. The reason why we have the place is we willing to sacrifice and fight, and that will always what keep freedom. Man, it's like one person said you got to fight for your constitutional right. Well, that's what I'm doing. Now I may get my ass whooped, and they may bury me underneath the jail. They may give me that 2 to 10 years that they talking about. That may happen. But at least I'm going to stand up, and when I come back out, I'll do the same, come back out, because it's all about freedom. I don't want to live in a country where I can't be free.
I don't want to pass on a country to my children that ain't free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It ain't safe. It ain't safe if you're going to get pulled over all the time by a cop and have a gun and shoot you or something like that. It ain't safe.
And let me get this straight, Stream. We and Bully aren't saying that that's all law enforcement either. We're not saying that happens with every law enforcement. But
Well, like
the
I said, the
proof is
KPD was a lot nicer, so there
They
is
were.
a difference.
They
There is
were.
a difference. And they actually held their own officers to accountable. There's one officer right now that got arrested for molesting in Killeen, and another officer that endangered a 5-year-old, you know what I'm saying?
Well-
And they all been charged, you know what I'm saying? So they at least holding them accountable. I ain't never seen that story come up from Belton PD. And you can't tell me that all them officers ain't never done nothing, because I don't believe that.
let's see here. Joe Jeff, AC, FMM Bully. I love to see me some M-Star. M-Star's pretty dope, man. I like your stuff, M-Star. Joe Cole, I like your stuff too, man. I like all you guys' stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie, I watch all you guys'
Learned a
stuff,
lot.
man. I
from people
learned,
like that.
yeah.
That's how you know, man. I watch even Justin Pullman, and I listen to their stuff and listen to what they're talking about over there. I'm not from there, so it's like, to me, it's a news media, right? Instead of listening to the regular news, because they all talk about the same thing. Every time I turn on news, they talk about COVID shot.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about that. I want to hear about what's really happening in my city, what's really going on in my city. Why some people get murdered down the road? I don't even know what's going on. The officer talking talking about I can't talk about it. I live in the fucking city. You can't tell me, explain to me what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, think of it this way: if you got somebody that's running around that's already murdered somebody, wouldn't you want to kind of put out the identification or any?
Well,
information?
they finally did. But I mean, I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah.
it took them a while.
Took 'em a while.
Whatever. And they got mad. In one video I did, and somebody's like, "Oh, you're already calling this officer a murderer?" I was like, "Well, he called me a threat."
Yeah.
It's not like he was like, "Hey, how you doing, sir? Oh, my name's Officer So and So. You having a good run? You know, if he would have been like that, it would have blew my mind away. Well, thank you for, you know what I'm saying? It would have. I was like, okay.
No, I agree. No, I agree. Let's see what we got here. Authority check. They're just putting up some of our things. Hey, I appreciate you guys throwing mine and Bully's tags up there or links up there, man. That's real cool. We appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you guys. Let's see here. All right, BBA FMV, have y'all been seeing what's going on in Corrigan, Texas? I heard about Corrigan, Texas. I didn't hear too much about it, but apparently there's some heavy stuff going in Corrigan, Texas. I think we need to do some research on that, look at it.
Like, what do you mean, like corruption with the police or something?
There's something that was happening. I have to look it up. Authority check. I'll have to go down further in the chats. Maybe he explained a little bit, but I did hear something about Corrigan. Sound mind. So because it's a business, does that mean you can rob our neighbors and set up a garage sale daily?
Was it talking about the police auctions that they have? Because I was there one time filming, and the police had an auction selling off stuff that they took from people that are drug dealers in cars, and they were having an auction over there selling stuff at the police department. Have an auction. So I don't know if that's what he meant, because they auction your shit off when they take it.
That's messed up.
Yeah, well, that's what they do.
Authority check. Corrigan outside their minds. Passionate is what we need. Well, we are passionate, man. I truly love what I do. So.
At this point in time, you have to stand up for something. You know, a man that stands for nothing will fall for anything. I mean, you really got to stand on something, and I stand on that. I believe in the Constitution. I was always told that. All my family been in the military. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the only person that didn't join the military. There's me and a couple of just a couple of cousins, but most of them all joined. But my point is that, you know, we was always taught you're supposed to have freedoms, you know. And so I believe that, you know.
Yeah, I was always, my grandfather.
I didn't know to the extent of it, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of took it for granted, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, taking pictures and taking video, I took for granted. I didn't know that was a big deal, you know. I didn't know that.
The thing is, it's not a big deal.
Well,
it's other people's emotions that get in the way, and that's the problem. Is we're so goddamn snowflaked nowadays. I mean, for crying out loud, there was a point in time where men would walk around and you would make eye contact and give a little nod, and that was a sign of respect. Nowadays, you can't even make eye contact with somebody, and without having their emotions getting involved. It's like, come on, man. Truth Seeker, what's going on, Truth Seeker? Truth Seeker's always on stuff too. It's not the end with Long Island audits. He is going to take it further. You'll have to elaborate on that, man, because I know he wrote a letter or something. And there was a post. There's a New York Post that actually came out that was written on him. You guys need to probably check that out. So look at that. Let's see. Joe Cool says you must protect the Constitution. It doesn't protect you. That's true. We are the people that stand for the bill. We are the militia. Just like our forefathers were the militia when it came to the Queen and Reps. I mean, we have to fight back. We have to stay strong.
Yeah, I think you automatically, and when you're born in Texas, you're automatically a part of the militia until like you're 38 years old or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True Seeker. My dad and family were photographers and never had anyone attack them ever.
It happens to some people. Hey, Clay Marshall, bring him up again. He went into the post office 6 months prior before I went in there, and no problem at all. Nobody said nothing to me. I think it was, to be honest with you, I think it's because I'm brown. And I went in there and they were all like, what the hell is this dude doing here? He's trying to steal my ID and send it to his wetback cousins in Mexico or something. That's how I kind of felt. Right. I may be wrong about that, but, I don't know how that, that's just how I feel. But there are some people that can film and they have no issues and nobody says nothing. So
this is the thing that when they call people frauditors, right? Because they're saying they're doing it for clicks and money. Okay, so are the news stations and everything, like the big media, CNN, are them frauditors? You think they're giving those videos up for free to those big? They're paying big money to those guys to put that out.
That's true.
So think about that.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. M-Star says a lot of us have full-time jobs and then some. Yeah, like 4 kids and full-time jobs. Really bust his ass and man work 12 hours a day.
I don't work 12 hours.
You stay busy.
I stay busy.
Oh, stay busy.
Thank God. I only have to work 8 in the sun. That's it.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
Enough in this Texas heat.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. True Right says, true seeker, I doubt he was trying to uncover corruption. Know that changes their idea about you. Oh, are you talking about Long Island Honest? I'm not sure. We'll go past that. Expect more action. Either that, the police are afraid of. Okay, either that or the police are afraid of having their moms see them acting like assholes. Well, that goes back to what me and Bully were talking about earlier. I think that the reason a lot of times they don't want to be, posted online is because they don't want their neighbors or their friends and family to see how they truly are operating. I mean, because a lot of people that when they join the police force, they're considered, God's gift to man. They're these heroes of the community. They're going to protect the people and all that. And then when they go out or show face of their true colors, then you see the reality of the person behind the badge. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So they're trying to save face.
I mean, like I said, I'm sure there's officers that save some people's lives. I ain't denying that for a fact.
No, there's that.
But I mean, look, when you're attacking somebody with the camera, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, you're a good guy. You know what I'm saying? But I've had family members tell me too that if I would have filmed them in the post office, they would have pistol whipped me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's all right to have a gun, to carry a gun, but if I carry a camera, well, that's an issue. So I mean, it just depends. People do have a certain feeling about a certain way, and there is a big disconnect between even people now. If you live on the other side of the train tracks, you know what I'm saying? You voted for this person, and I've never been into the voting things. You know what I'm saying? I tried it one time, and then to me, it doesn't work, and it's all bullshit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I think it starts off in your own community first.
Yeah.
And then you have to have people from your community who are just regular people. When you go to city councils and stuff like that, I don't see no regular people that I haven't been to one, but they ain't regular workers is what I'm saying. The really people who work their everyday daily working jobs are usually like officials, business, lawyers, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm gonna
people with the money that are running the
yeah, man. I mean, I want to see someone represent me out there, and maybe I need to go out there and start being a part of that. I've never been to a city council meeting, and I would like to be part of that, but I don't.
The thing is I think if we went to a city council meeting and we were recorded, I think we'd be arrested.
Well, you never know.
And that says enough in itself right there. Well, think about it.
But it should be legal too.
It is legal.
Right?
It is legal.
It is legal.
But let's see here. Truth Seeker says he took photos everywhere: museums, public forums, historical sites, search and rescue sites. We have plaque.
Too long, maybe.
New York Tire Hunter gave you a super chat, man. That's much love.
Appreciate that, man. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Respect, brother.
Appreciate that, man.
Let's see. New York Counter, haha, M-Star Media. I do that. HRP because it's funny. Look, everybody has their own style of doing auditing. Let me go back to that. Everybody has their own style of auditing. Some people choose to exercise their First Amendment a little bit more than others. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the freedom of speech, which is not illegal, and some choose to be more passive. And that's to each their own. To each their own. But just because you don't agree with the way somebody's doing something, when they're speaking their piece, doesn't make it.
I always say get a camera and do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Go out there and try some, put it in the world. Go out there and actually do filming yourself and then see how you get treated. And when someone jumps down your throat for filming, how it makes you feel like you're a criminal. You feel like you're a bag and nobody wants to be yelled at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it makes me feel, I'm like, oh shit, what I do? Right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get in trouble. I'm just trying to literally film a situation. And it actually happens where people, Karens, Darrens, the name that they gave it, will actually come out and attack you verbally themselves.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's truth to that. Look at
and one even came up to you and held you in the corner. Remember that one time at Colleen? She came up all up in your face or whatever, and she wouldn't let you go out of the corner.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, never mind. Well, go back to what Bully was saying though. That there was that lady, and she backed me all the way to the corner. And a lot of people gave me shit about that. Like, oh, you stand your ground. And what do you think would have happened if I would have stood my ground against that female?
Yeah, you would have been.
I would have been thrown into the jail.
Yeah, man. Everybody's a critic though. And
I'm just, yeah.
And if you put yourself out there, look, you can take a shot at me because I'm putting myself out there, man. But that's what I do. I'm taking a risk. I'm going out there trying to put myself there. That's it. Go ahead.
And we're probably the most. I'm pretty open-minded, man. I don't care, what this and that and all that other political BS that you guys, are feeding off of. I don't care about that, man. I care about the God-given rights that we're given. I care about the things that we, the people, should have, which are freedoms in this country, and that's it. You shouldn't be oppressed. You shouldn't have to worry about if you're going to hurt somebody's feelings and walk on eggshells your whole life. It's ridiculous.
What is that? Political correctness.
Yeah.
Political correctness. Yeah.
Why do I have to be political correct?
Well, I mean, I guess everything you say, you are going to be held accountable for everything you say. But I mean, that's just, you know,
To each their own,
yeah,
right?
to each their own. You know, each belief.
All right, let's see here. It says, when I watch auditors like Free from the UK do audits, I sometimes wonder if they actually have more freedoms than we do. Their police seem to give more. You know what? Where is it? In the UK? No, that was Canada. So, I don't know, man. I think the UK, maybe their law enforcement get trained a little bit longer than our law enforcement.
It just depends what video you've seen, because I've seen video where they're raiding people's homes for not wearing masks or having too many people at their house.
You're right about that.
You know what
I've
I'm
seen
saying?
some pretty
So
nasty
I don't
stuff
know
that
about,
too.
you know, fuck being able to carry a camera. Don't be coming breaking in my house because I ain't wearing no mask. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you go about what's happening here in America right now, you know, they're trying to work on that.
Man, are they, man? Now people are starting to kind of trip out a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Let's see, Joe Cool, no rights. I love live free. Oh, I live free. I love live free. I love live free too, man. UK has more rights. Did you read that correctly? That's an interesting observation. Bow Hunter auditing. What's up, Bow Hunter? I see Bow Hunter on a lot of streams and some other people too. What's going on? Let's see. Howard Clegg said, thanks for your prior service, New York Tyrant Hunter. It's awesome when citizens do this, but means more to me when vets stand up like you and these guys. Wish I was sound-bodied to do more. You got to think, Howard, when I joined the military, man, there's one thing that they never asked back from me in CIF when I left, and that was the oath that I took. They never asked me for that back. They never said, hey, we need your oath back. I swore that for the rest of my life. I'm going to live by that oath for the rest of my life. And that means to keep people free. And if that means going against the grain, then that's fine. Terrorists that are domestic and foreign, period. There are domestic terrorists as well. And some of them wear badges, in my opinion, that oppress the people. Because if you swore an oath to protect the people's God-given rights and then you're doing the exact opposite and oppressing the people, then what does that make you? Does that make you honorable? Does that make you loyal?
Sure don't make you no hero.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
are
man.
they doing their
duty?
duty?
You ain't no hero locking somebody up for a camera, pushing on them for their camera, and you know you a cop. You know you can arrest them. You know you can shoot. So we just like, you already won that.
Right.
And then when I go to cop, and I know you already have the bigger gun. You the bigger thing. You look, you're gonna take me and put me in cuffs. I'm gonna do that because you know what I'm saying. You the boss.
Right.
But all I'm trying to say is that look, we have rights to do this. I mean, I'm not trying to say we taking over. Nah. I just want to be able to film.
Mm-hmm.
If I see a cop pull somebody over, I want to be able to film the situation and make sure that they're doing everything like they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Plain and simple.
And
I'm
they
just
should-
there's backup basically. I'm just watching. I'm that third eye. You know what I'm saying? I'm that third eye in the situation, if you will. That's it.
This is the time the third wheel ain't that bad to be.
Yes, sir.
So, let's see here. Respect my rights. Arresting Philip Turner and Turner versus Driver in Corrigan was big news. It should have the mainstream media, but obviously it didn't. Mainstream media is not going to put anything that goes against the agenda, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. And we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look what they're doing right now. I take this in for instance. 9/11 happened. All you heard on the news was terrorist this, terrorist, 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 terrorist this, terrorist that, terrorist this. We're code orange, code blue, code this, code that. I mean, you go on.
Every day had everybody scared.
Yeah.
Got you living in fear and everything, man. You gotta stop living in fear. Only thing what they say, only thing to fear is fear itself. You gotta stop being scared because when they get you all scared, then all of a sudden you going after your neighbor. You think, oh, I see my neighbor over, he filming, he the police. Well, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Give me
And
a
that's
break.
that see something, say something
Yeah,
bullshit.
man, they're trying to, come on now. We supposed to stand up as a community. When you see somebody stepping over someone's rights, you got to stand up for that because after they take people out, like me and Falmouth, they'll be coming for somebody next. I promise you that.
There's always a target.
It's a machine that has to be eaten, that be fed, so it's going to be fed by somebody. And,
No, I agree. I agree. I think I can agree 100% with that. I think that there's always a target. There's always targets. Let's see. They're chatting between each other. Authority check said Corrigan arrested 2 auditors, unconstitutional city ordinance from recording police cars. One of them had Philip Turner, aka the Batui. They arrested the authority from lock. Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Wasn't it Batusai or something like that?
Oh, Batusa, yeah, I know you're talking about.
I think I heard a little bit.
Or something.
I heard a little bit about that authority check. I have to do some more pink back, but I think I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. They arrested him. Well, I mean.
Yeah, they arrest for the auditor doing the lock watch as burglary of a vehicle.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm still. Just filming. I'm starting at the beginning level. I'm just filming. Watching cops pull people over. I wouldn't do the check thing just because I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pull on
I don't
nobody's
know
door.
nothing about that, man. I mean, I will tell you this, that I think those doors that I've seen before on video or auditors, where they open up the door and there's guns sitting in there, and that makes me worried that the cop is leaving a car with a gun sitting
An unsecured firearm.
there. Yeah, man. I remember a long time ago in Nolanville, the police station got robbed. They went over there and the guns were missing, and that's embarrassing. You a police station and you getting your guns robbed from you? That's embarrassing.
Well,
Now,
that's the thing too. But there's I think there's legal precedence of that too. You're not allowed to leave a firearm unsecured, because if I left a firearm unsecured in my house and
some kid
got it, then that's my fault for leaving it unsecured.
Yeah.
So what is it any different than a law enforcement that has an AR-15 or a shotgun loaded
right
in his vehicle for anybody to just grab it and go in and grab it?
And look, man, I've seen cops before in Harker Heights go up to them, and I was filming at the police station. They had a car just sitting there for like 20 minutes, running air conditioning and everything. I went in there and asked the cop, "Is there a reason why you let your cars run?" He goes, "We have a $5,000 a month or week, maybe $5,000 a week gas budget." He says we have to spend it. So they just let that shit. I mean, it's like they just wasteful anyway.
Because they got to keep that budget for next year.
Yeah, wasting the people's money.
And the cops that go out there and say, "Oh, well, I pay taxes too."
They pay taxes.
You pay taxes out of the taxes.
Yeah.
That's like going to a convenience store, pulling money out of the cash register, and buying your Butterfinger with it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get real. Get ready to watch a lot of your videos being age restricted on ScrewTube. Time to migrate. Just saying, you haven't seen nothing yet. Sound minds.
Yeah, well, I mean, they may be trying to stop the First Amendment. I've always heard people talk about that, so you never know. It may happen, but
man, if they start striking videos from YouTube, bro, I mean,
so far I've never been striked, so I don't know.
Me neither.
I mean, but I ain't, I'm just out here doing my thing. I don't see where it's wrong with it. Be able to speak about what you feel, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm trying to do. Just speak about what I think, what my opinion is,
Yeah, and everybody's entitled to that.
Yeah.
Just because we decide to voice ours on a platform for the world to see,
Yeah.
That doesn't make us, enemies of the state or enemies of the whatever. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking, sometimes I'm just saying what other people have been thinking for a long time and just didn't want to say it or whatever like that, something like that concept.
Giving people the voice that never had a voice.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And that's why I always tell people, go get a camera, start filming if you want to do that, or do whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm just saying you should do something and get yourself out there again, But
let's see, hey, know your tire hunter, that's Robert Reed. You got him on a wrench. I took a lot of shit for making a fuck up during my live cop watch. I fucked up, but harassment is BS. I stand corrected. Look, we all, like I just think that, look, when we all go back to do things the way we do, we make mistakes. It's fine. But there's nothing wrong with making mistakes and learning from those mistakes and refining your craft, man.
mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're going to do this, then, like, we did some research and we started getting on the ground, but this is a learning curve for us, man. People talk about there was a thing that was put out, on the news when we got arrested, that the chief had sent us a letter, saying that we could do things different. Had we would, and this is my opinion, and you can add on to this or not, and it's totally up to you. Had I received the letter prior, I received the letter 15 minutes prior to me being arrested.
Yeah, the day that I went to the post office, because I got a certified letter in the mail saying we sorry we missed you, but we got a letter for you. I went down there and collected that letter. Later opened up and found out that they were saying you can't film like you're doing. We're gonna arrest you for impeding and all this stuff. I was like, what? That's when I went to the police station. I was like, I gotta have a discussion about this, because why are you trying to say you're trying to arrest me for filming? I mean, and they're trying to say, oh, we're impeding and blocking their lights. Well. And once I heard somebody say, well, we had flashlights or whatever, but the charge that they got us that day, we didn't even, the flashlights weren't
even on.
So it's like, I ain't even worried about that, man. They flashlights in my face all the time when I was walking down the road.
This is my question for the law enforcement that's watching this stream, because I know there's Belt PD on the live stream. I know there is. At what point in time is it an issue when you have a citizen come up to you and try to create constructive dialogue to see where you stand in the community that you're supposed to serve? When is that an issue? When is that if you're not professional enough to speak with somebody and keep your eyes on your partner, why are you doing the job? I mean, I can shoot, move, and communicate. I mean, that's multitasking. If you can't multitask, watch your partner and have a conversation with somebody that's standing over you, or right, some feet away from you, why are you doing what you're doing? I mean, you are there to build rapport with the community, right? You are there to to have a positive impact on the community, well then when the community comes up and speaks to you, then why are you trying to throw the book at them for trying to create constructive dialogue with you? You know, and it's funny because the officer that I talked to that day at the Popeyes, the supervisor that was there, and he knows who he is. I spoke to him prior to that at the Belt and Eye Care Center at an incident that had happened. You know, and it was a complete different guy at that point. But somehow, when you put on a camera and you try to speak to him and try to be positive with him and have constructive dialogue, that's an issue. You know,
I believe it, yes sir.
it's ass backwards. But you're supposed to be a professional, right? So, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't think too much about. I mean, we all mess up. So what? Shit happens. We learn and we move on. Corporate media reports what they are paid to. Yeah, they do. Lake Speed. I don't believe I've ever seen anything like this before. I don't know if I can make it to the store and get some rest and feel better soon.
Sick. Maybe he's sick or something.
If you're sick, just
drink some lemon water.
Drink water. Ain't good. At the very least, everyone should watch their city council meetings on YouTube, as most available there in your areas of meet.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good idea. I would love to go and do a city council meeting. I think that'd be pretty cool. I ain't never, it'd be a learning experience for me. I wouldn't even speak because I don't even know what's going on. But I've never, like I said, I've seen some people on TV, but it would be good to get involved with something like that. It would be pretty cool.
I think if we were to go up and speak, I think the moment that we would start identifying the issues that we were having with the community law enforcement, that we would be arrested. And that's my personal opinion. And if anybody that's in the leadership over here can tell me otherwise, then please do so. Because there's too many times in Texas where I've seen auditors go in and speak the truth, use their First Amendment right to speak, and then get arrested for disorderly conduct.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. So it's like one of those things, man. But yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sound Mind says 9/11 made you the terrorist according to them. Patriot Act told you that, and the 1300 page from the Department of Justice calling you belligerent. Do you know how they handle belligerents when at war? They show you daily. Well, if law enforcement is there, it's supposed to be protect the community. So if they're doing the bidding of some other higher power, then we're really in for it.
Yeah, well, it's a battle, like they said, man. I mean,
Sound Minds, they have hidden over 30 of my videos behind age restrictions. Some of my videos have been age restricted as well, 18. So some of my videos, I'll try and show people that they'll be like, hey, they'll see my shirt, my merch, whatever, and then they'll give them a card, and then they'll go on. They'll be like, why are your videos age restricted? So I wonder if they're doing that with mine too.
Maybe.
But Tucson was shocked that he was arrested for something he fought so hard for. Honestly, man, I think a lot of the Texas cops, man, are and I'm not going to say all of them. I'm not going to say all of them. So the law enforcement that's watching this feed, it's not all of you guys. I understand that there are law enforcement that are truly there to make a change, that are truly there for the community, and truly want to say, do the right thing. With that being said, there is the opposite of well. And the ones that are not holding those accountable for their actions and that know that are doing the right thing, then that makes you compliant with that behavior as well. Is that everybody on the line? I'm ready to set it. We got a bunch, bro. Brent McCain. What's up, Brent? Brent McCain's another auditor, a Second Amendment activist. You guys go check him out. He does work. Brent McCain is a good man. And Mr. Brent, I hope you're doing better. He did catch COVID. I hope you are doing better, sir. I hope you're feeling a lot better. I know he was feeling pretty bad, so I hope you're getting the feeling better. Let's see. And don't let cops tell you that their gun is locked inside their vehicle in the gun lock. Watch the lock-picking lawyer pick one of the soda can in less than 30 seconds. I did watch it. There's a guy that on YouTube that picks all these locks. Man, he's really good, dude. He picks some crazy locks, man. But that's not the thing is why are you going to leave an unsecured firearm, period, man? I mean, any sound mind adult would know if I have a firearm and I'm deciding to leave it in my vehicle, then the vehicle's going to be secure. So that if anybody does to try to get in there, then it's going to be forced entry and not just something they just pull and open. So we want to preach this safety first, but then we want to do the exact opposite. Our firearm is secure for everybody to just go in there and grab it. Everybody talks about we don't know other people's intent. Well, you don't know other people's intent. So why wouldn't you secure your firearm and to protect yourself? Let's see. Respect your rights. Corners News. What's going on, Corners News? How's it going, guys? Greeting from Laredo, Texas. Laredo, Texas in the house.
How you doing, man?
Yeah. It says, M-Star says, thank you to our active and veteran military. Thank you, M-Star. I guarantee you the veterans that we truly appreciate the support and the love that you give us. I know I do personally, man. Anybody that supports our veterans, or anybody that supports anybody that stands for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, whether they served in this country or not, is a good man in my book. Because you're standing for something you believe in, you're standing for something that our forefathers fought for, and are willing to uphold that in itself. That says a lot about the man right there. So, let's see, Corners News. Check one out, tag. Let's see, Thurman King, good to see you guys. Brent, it's good to see you, sir. It is good to see you. Brent got a little COVID, man, so he was down pretty bad for a little bit. Yeah, he got it pretty bad, so I'm hoping he's feeling better. So he's a good second round activist. He really does. I subbed you just now, Brent. M-Star, thank you, M-Star. I appreciate that. Showing Brent some love. You guys go show Brent some love. You guys go show M-Star some love. All right, you go show Joe Cool, show Authority Check. You guys show all those guys some love. All right. Bully Back Artist, this is you, ANFM Out Veterans. Send me y'all's Facebook contacts so I can add you to your Texas group. Authority Check, I don't have a Facebook, man. I don't have a Facebook. I don't know if you have a Facebook.
I'm Facebook.
Okay. And the reason why I don't do a Facebook, man, a personal Facebook, is because I got crazy ass family, bro. I got crazy ass family, bro, and they're gonna be wanting to friend me and friend that and friend this, and then that's drama. And I ain't got time for that shit. I mean, my family, I'll pass. I might make one, Authority. I might make one. Matter of fact, man, I'm gonna go make one when I get home. I'm gonna do it just for you, man. I'm gonna make one just for you, Authority Check, and it's gonna be called.
Do it, man.
No, we'll do FMV. We'll do that. I'll make one because I do. Look, I want to be a part of this community because I want to build. Like Boy said, man, we want to be able to go out and film, man. We want to go out and observe the public officials doing their duty. What's wrong with that? I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, the IRS gets. I mean, everybody else audits you. I mean, you get audited from the IRS if you have money issues, right? I mean, even food companies go in and get food audits. Everybody gets audited. So why wouldn't we be allowed to go and audit our public officials and ensure that they're doing the right thing? And if the law enforcement is doing the right thing in this community, then they have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but when they're the policing themselves, they're not going to be harsh with themselves. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's what's kind of being the first thing the auditor's all about, is that you're getting pure cut from, you're not hearing from what hearsay, what the officers told you. You know what I'm saying? You're being able to see something live for yourself and see how they really act. You know?
Yeah.
Because they really cover for each other on a lot of things, I have to say. When I got assaulted by an officer, they tried to say there was no reason that he did nothing wrong. But he grabbed me physically to remove me from a post office. So, I mean, come on, he messed up big time right there. It's all wrong. But nothing was done from it. And when you have an officer that allows that kind of behavior, where you're setting him up to do something else wrong to somebody else, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is when that incident happened, when I saw that video, that's when I reached out to Bully Back.
Yeah, that's when he reached out to me.
And I went up there, and there was a female that was there that was the postmaster at the time. And I did an investigation. I was without a camera, but I did my investigation. I went there and got some information, and I filed a formal complaint with the USPS, the big postmaster, the big dog postmaster. And then there was another dude, Derek, I think is his name, that was there, the bigger, heavier set guy. And the last time we were there, he addressed it and fixed everybody that had a problem with it. And if you're watching this, Derek, if you ever see this, man, I gotta commend you for that, because you took the constructive criticism that me and Bully, when we filed those complaints, you took it and you made change with it, man. You changed the way that your employees operated.
Own rule. It's their own rule.
Right. But he was man enough to admit his fault, admit that his staff messed up, and made change.
Right.
Now, he went even so far to tell the citizens that were in there as well, as be like, look, these guys aren't doing anything wrong. So it really wasn't the post office at that point in time. It was the citizens that were walking up and harassing us, putting their hands in our face, and calling us all kinds of negative names and stuff. So,
which I'm okay with, because a lot of people flip me. I've had videos when a guy flipped me off, say, get a job. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, that's your freedom of speech, right?
Yeah,
That's your freedom of expression.
Yes, sir.
And I'm glad you made that point. I'm glad Bully made that point, because who are we What kind of people would we be? What kind of men would we be if we go out and preach the First Amendment right, you know, and then we go and silence somebody or delete somebody's comment on our live stream or our video? That's kind of hypocritical, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to have your free speech, even if you dog me or talk shit about me. That's fine. You have that right. Please do so. I take that as motivation of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Constructive criticism. So we drive on, right? Hey, dude. Oh snap! Someone's been holding the camera this whole time. Thought it was on the stand. Your arms must be wore out. Oh, that's actually my brother, man. I'm not gonna tell his name. This is my brother. He's my little brother. He's my baby brother. He's 30, but he's still my baby brother. I don't give a damn. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. Let's see. Sound Minds are paramilitary forces now. That's why the feds fund them. Military surplus gear the past 10 plus years. The federal fund. You play by the rules. Doing so or
Hey,
lose the funds.
on my video, on my community page, you go to they came to my house with a Hummer. So I mean, they're military big time, and I mean, like I said, they ended up dropping all them charges on me because I didn't rob no damn store. I ain't even went to that store, and it was like that. I mean, I was out the next day, but they still kept the resisting arrest, and they found some marijuana in my house. I mean, some little weed or whatever. So I mean, at the end of the day, they dropped all them charges except for the marijuana one. They kept that one. I mean, because I did that weed or whatever.
See, and I thought
it's something small, man.
Well, the thing is, I thought a certain amount of
this was back in 2013.
Oh, 13?
Yeah, 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they might have changed since then,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Sound Mind, the paramilitary style, man, that's been happening since, I think, maybe...
Oh, well, after the terror.
Yeah, after the 9/11, I think, was when they started moving toward paramilitary style tactics and paramilitary style training, and then gear, and then firearms. I think that was the big push to try and because at that point in time, that's when what you call it was formed, because it never existed before.
NSA?
No, it was it the Homeland Security or something like that? It was a new alphabet boy that had got alphabet group that had got just brand new started. I can't remember the name of it. Howard Clegg says the citizens reign supreme. Labor liberty is there for us, and tyranny needs to be exposed. Labor liberty is there for all of us. I agree with you. We all have free liberties in this world, and we need to live them. Look, if you don't agree with somebody, look, me and Bully, we operated together, right? And I'm gonna tell you right, Bully can contest to this. We don't see eye to eye on everything. It's just not gonna happen. Even though we agree with each other and we have a true feeling in the cause of what we're doing, we don't agree with everything. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, you're true.
And me and him have had conversations, man, before to where we get heated. And you know what? The fact that I'm able to talk to this man on another side of the coin, and he's allowed to do the same, and we're allowed to share our differences in ideas and the differences of the way that we truly believe that things should be done. And at the end of the day, agree to disagree and continue to drive on and operate. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You're not gonna agree with everybody. You're not special. Stop feeling that you're special. Stop feeling that way. Nobody wins a trophy for losing. Nobody cares about how you feel. Stop thinking you're special. Just stop. You know? If you don't like somebody videotaping, if you don't like something that somebody says, if you don't agree with it, if you don't have no constructive dialogue to give feedback, then just move on. You know? Because at that point in time, then you're being the agitator. You're the one harassing the other person. Because they're, at that point in time, we're exercising our God-given rights and we're truly living free as men. And then you want to go out there and oppress us and the freedoms that we're trying to exercise. So at that point in time, they become the agitator, they become the harasser. And that's my opinion. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with that, man. I honestly think that, like I said, man, some people don't like the camera, and that's just the way it is. I don't know. Like they said, they have to learn the rights. You have to learn the laws. That's what we do. Try to teach.
Exactly.
That's all it's all about.
Exactly. Let's say I love the chat, but I gotta go. Get out of here for a little bit. I sub to both of you. Look forward to your next live. Respectable
Appreciate
rights.
that.
We appreciate that, man. Much
Oh, yeah.
love. All right, a lot of baby brother. Let's see. Authority check. Y'all go check out this guy's America's First. He's another guy arrested in Corrigan, Texas. I'm telling you, man. I think that I think. All right, now I'm gonna tell you right now. I think that there's a big wave of law enforcement that they're just trying to arrest every auditor in Texas, man.
Might be, man.
Because after our arrest, man, people have been getting arrested left and right. You guys need to go watch Horizon City News. He got arrested on some bullshit charges, and I shared his video on my community, so you guys go look at that. He got arrested on some bullshit, and all he did was go into a public air space and videotape, and they hit him with the same type of pocket warrant bullshit. So they're arresting us Texas auditors because they want to silence your voice.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's what I think. Let's see. Wasn't at damage repair at the Corrigan also. Yes, damage repair was one of the okay. M-Star FMV, do you watch or listen to Jocko? I'm not sure what that is, to be honest with you, M-Star. I'll have to look. I don't think I know. So, to be honest with you. Damage repair, Ninja was trespassed as well. Right. I did see something about news now, Ninja. His thing, and then they reset it. So there's a lot of that happening, man.
Yeah, a lot of resets, and it's a process, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Household 6 giving me marching orders. Good to have joined later. Later, stay safe. See you later, Howard. It's good to see you. Thank you, M-Star, for posting Horizon City News on there. Man, he's a good guy. He's helped out a lot. He's really good. So you guys go check him out. But I mean, I honestly think, man, the way things are going with me personally, man, I haven't lost any sleep, man. I don't know about you. I may have lost a little bit there at the beginning because, you know, when you get stuck into a situation like that, the unknowing is fearful, man.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm worried, man, about all that. But I feel like the truth will always prevail.
I think so too.
So that's how I just live. I put my faith that truth will always stand up, and that's what's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So
I think so too. I think you're right when you say that the light will shine at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know, no matter how deep the tunnel, no matter how big the hole, you know, the light's gonna shine through, and I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
You know, and as far as it goes, as me and Bully as auditors, man, I speak for myself. I can't speak for this man, but my intention is never to go out and harass. I want to educate people, and I want you guys to know that you guys have rights and exercise them. If people don't agree with them, then that's okay. Then they don't agree with them. But that doesn't make it illegal, and that doesn't make you a bad person, and that doesn't make you this evil person that has this vendetta against law enforcement. I don't have a vendetta against law enforcement. You know, I don't.
I just want to hold them accountable, man. Accountable. That's all.
Yeah.
Just show transparency. They always talk about transparency. That's all I'm trying to do. Show transparency. What's the big deal?
And they shouldn't have a problem with that. If they're not doing anything wrong, then they shouldn't have a problem with that. So, Jocko, he's a veteran and has a podcast. Some of what you guys sound so much like him. We'll check out the video page and some clips. Cool. We might jump on one of his panels one day or something.
Oh yeah.
So next time we'll check it out.
Oh yeah.
So, but guys, we're gonna. I'm good. You want to end the stream? I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. We appreciate you guys coming in, man. I know I do. I know Bully appreciate you guys. I want to say I appreciate you guys' support, man. I appreciate everybody their comments. I appreciate the thumbs up. I even appreciate the negative comments, man. You know, you have that right, and I'm glad that you're able to exercise your God-given rights to do the freedoms that you're doing. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have wrote the negative comments that you did. You know, so thank you for that.
Oh yeah.
So,
I appreciate it. I think you're good, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. We're going to end the live stream here. Y'all guys have a good one.